Hello and welcome to a look at ActivateMR, specifically what's new for 2025. So I'm going to be looking at those areas of ActivateMR that we've both added as a new feature, also those that we've improved throughout the life of ActivateMR. I've got some up on the screen here. We will go through each of these segments in order as well, and we'll jump straight in with diving straight into ActivateMR, and we'll have a look at the sections that we can create within our analyses. If I look at this board that we've created within one of our training platforms, we can see here at the top we've got our first section break. And if we scroll a little bit further down, we can see where this breaks out into another section. By allowing to add sections, we can start to build our debrief based upon the initial briefing that we had for our project. So we can effectively add chapters into our ActivateMR boards that properly display all areas that we've mentioned that we would touch on our initial brief. In order to add or edit a new section, we can simply click on the cog within here. We'll then have options to both add above or below. We can also move our sections up and down. We can also delete our sections from here as well. If we've got one that we've potentially remade in a different design, we can then remove our old section from here. With each of these sections, we can also have a personalized style for these. As you can see, this one currently matches the site branding. If, however, we want to change that, we can click again into the cog, select section style. We then have full control over the heading color, which can either be a specific hex code if you do have brand specific colors, or alternatively we can use the color picker for this as well as being able to edit the background color that text will sit on, as well as the text size that we would have within this. So if we want to especially emphasize a specific area, we can increase or decrease the heading size, and we can set a specific font for this as well. If you do have brand specific fonts or custom fonts that you would like adding, we can add additional fonts to the platform. We would just need the file provided. If you let us know at support@flexmr.net, we can then add those into your Insight Hub. Final options we've got within here are to do with our section break. So at the bottom of each section, we'll have a thin line that will separate that section out and show that we're then moving into another. We can choose to entirely turn that off. If we want these to flow without that break in, then we can turn that off. Alternatively, we can choose the specific color that we would like for that. And we can also choose the thickness of line that we want to select as well. Once we save that in place, we scroll down, we'll see at the bottom of our section, this thin red line here, breaking that out into a separate section. Given that we can create sectioned out analyses within ActivateMR, these can take some time to fully kind of track alongside our initial brief and to fully show all of the research that we've done within that project. What we can then do to ensure that we don't have to replicate that motion each time we need to create a new ActivateMR board, we do now have the facility to save these down as templates. So if we're especially proud of this one, we know we want to use it in future, we might just want to change out each of our tiles, update the text within these, for instance. If we go back to our list of ActivateMR boards, from each of these, within the drop-down menu, we then have the option to save this as a template. By selecting this, we'll then just need to add a title. That template will then be selectable when we create our new board. So if I select in the top right, create new board, I can then choose from any of the current templates that I have saved down within here. What that will then do, if I just create a very quick test, is to pre-populate our board with these specific areas. And again, we can then alter and edit and change these as much as we need to. Once we've completed our analysis, whether we've done that from individually adding sections, or if we've used a template in order to create that. We understand that not everything is online. We won't always need to use ActivateMR online or not necessarily have access to do so. So we have recently added a print functionality to this. If I select the print option in the top corner here, it will then compile this into a short slideshow that can then be printed and distributed as a physical paper. Alternatively, we can simply use these images if we do need to present this offline but still on screen. A section that we've added to ActivateMR that isn't necessarily specific to ActivateMR, but a new tool in the Insight Hub is TextMR. So as well as adding this new generative AI analysis tool for qualitative analysis of verbatim responses from users, we can also add a tile into any of our ActivateMR boards showing TextMR as an analysis point. We'll then have the options to add themes, sentiments, and netcode bar charts within there, just to exemplify what we found across that qualitative analysis. In addition to TextMR tiles, we have made some alterations to our text tiles as well. As you can see with these text tiles here, we do have multiple different fonts, different colors within here. And in order to edit these, it's as simple as highlighting our text. We can then do some basic text formatting like bold, italic, and underline. We also can make these stand out a little bit more with selecting a heading. And further along, we can see we can also add a custom font for this specific section. Again, if we do have company-specific fonts, we can add those to the platform, and then they will be selectable within our fonts drop-down as well. Once we've finished editing, we can then select the tick there, and it will save those changes into place for us. Another very important tile for adding context around our research is a media tile. So as we can see in this analysis, we've got multiple media tiles available to us. It's unlikely, however, that our images will exactly fit the predestined size of this box. We do have various tools to help us in order to set up how we want this image to be laid out. If I select on the settings cog, I can then see within this menu, I have the option to set my layout. I've currently got this set to fill the box. What that will then do is to ensure that the image entirely fills the box that you've added. It will, however, crop the image so that it will show it specifically with those edges that don't perhaps fit perfectly cropped out. We can then align this both vertically and horizontally. We can change this to fit as well. If we want the entire image to fit within the tile, it will just mean that there may be some blank edges around our images. If an image is too small for the tile, we can also allow enlargement. This, however, will essentially zoom in the image and may lessen slightly the fidelity of that. Final thing that I want to have a look through is the comments ability within this. So within each board, we do have the option to comment within here. We also have this option which is switchable between all of our tiles as well. As we can see here, each tile can have the option activated for comments or turned off. And if we do want to use comments within a board, simply click on and we can add our comment here. All comments are added in real time as well, as is all of the data within ActivateMR. If we do have ongoing research, for instance, that has live surveys, any new responses will automatically be added into the numbers MR count and thus added into any ActivateMR boards featuring that analysis. What we can also do with our comments is to tag other users. So if we do want to build a discussion around this with other internal users in the platform, if we're looking for somebody to perhaps edit our layout, we can then simply use the @ key and we can mention that user to draw their attention to a specific section. That's all that we had to cover today on TextMR. If you do have any questions at all, or perhaps would like a full training session in the ActivateMR tool, just let us know at support@flexmr.net. Thanks everybody for watching.